It is 6:46. We are following breaking news out of Albany. In today's Sunrise Smart Start, a police officer remains in the hospital and a suspect is dead after a shootout.
Yeah, we've just seen the update. That officer is awake and alert in the hospital as Albany's mayor and police chief described this as an ambush while that officer had been trying to make a traffic stop around midnight. We are further told the officer was shot twice near the hip and he is conscious while in the hospital.
Also breaking updates just in from state police on this chase and crash overnight. A man is in custody after that scene unfolded in the city. The troopers tell us 27-year-old Dwayne Campbell wasn't hurt but tried to make a run for it after crashing into another vehicle at Columbia and Reynolds. The driver and passenger in that car hit did go to the hospital with minor injuries. Campbell is charged with unlawful fleeing, possession of marijuana, and other traffic citations. He was issued an appearance ticket.
In further breaking news, RPD investigates an overnight stabbing in Rochester. Police tell us that the victim was stabbed on Lake Avenue just around 1 o'clock, was able to walk themselves to St. Paul Street, and he is expected to live. Police tell us the circumstances leading up to this stabbing are still questionable as the victim is not cooperating with officers. Call 911 if you know anything.
Happening later on today downtown, it is the conclusion in court to a decades-long murder case out of Rochester.
Ron Spitzer shares with us this morning the details as this man found guilty of a murder from 40 years ago will face his sentencing in just a few hours. Ron.
60-year-old Timothy Williams was found guilty for the murder of 14-year-old Wendy Jerome. Prosecutors say Williams raped and killed Jerome on Thanksgiving Day back in 1984. He was arrested in Florida 4 years ago after he was identified as the suspect through DNA evidence. Police say Williams moved to Florida shortly after the crime. The trial started late last year, but a mistrial was declared, the judge citing jury misconduct. The trial picked back up in February, and Williams was found guilty on all charges in March. We spoke with Jerome's family after that emotional day in the courtroom.
Wendy was the sweetest, most caring little girl in the whole world. And I just want everybody to know that no matter what was said, it wasn't true, and she is and always will be my heart.
Williams was found guilty on multiple charges, including second-degree murder. He's scheduled to be sentenced this afternoon at 1. Guys, back to you.
All right, thank you very much, Aram. Now, also happening today, Rochester Mayor Malik Evans will give his State of the City address.
Yep, we'll hear from him tonight at 6. You can watch that live on the city's website. We'll also have highlights, take you through some of his main talking points of that address on News 8 at 11 and at rochesterfirst.com.
In developing news this morning, police say they're still looking for the person responsible for shooting a man on Sawyer Street. This reportedly happened just before 6 last night. The victim involved, a 21-year-old, is currently in stable condition. Again, 6 last night around Sawyer Street. If you think you know anything, call 911.
Another somber day in Syracuse as that community mourns the loss of 2 law enforcement officers. So many first responders, friends, and families lined the streets and overpasses, honoring Michael Husag during a procession as he was carried to his final resting place. His hearse was escorted from the medical examiner's office to the funeral home. Also yesterday, the community was out paying respects to Syracuse police officer Michael Jensen. Many shedded tears as they left the funeral home in his hometown of Rome, where his body will stay until the funeral can be held. Officers say they are doing what they can to support one another, even from different departments, as everyone tries to heal.
We want the families of these 2 officers to know how important their lives were and that they gave the ultimate sacrifice to keep people safe in New York State. And the main thing is just to show up and to your families. We appreciate them, and the loss is huge. And there's no words that can express what happened, but this is something that we can do to come out and show support for them.
The suspect was killed during that shootout Sunday night outside Syracuse. Police are still investigating a motive. Our sister station there had a team outside the home, officers where they were shot at, as they observed police removing at least 12 rifles. The sheriff's office confirms the AR-15 used by 33-year-old Chris Murphy had a 40-round clip in it, 4 times the legal limit here in New York. 6:51 is the time. We'll talk to James momentarily about the rain in the forecast. For now, we've got dry roads out there. Looking over the west side, the ballpark in downtown. So 390, 490 looking good coming into downtown. 590 if you're coming in from Webster or Empire. Don't have anything there slowing down. We'll check that again at about 725.
The Rochester City School District still looking for a leader to replace the outgoing superintendent, Dr. Carmine Peluso. It's a race against the clock as Peluso's June 30th end date quickly approaches. Now, board members say they don't want to exclude the public from this decision-making process, but they do need to make a decision on hiring an interim by April 29th. And at the same time, they need to hire that search firm to help them find a permanent superintendent.
Most important part is that they need to understand the reorg and the strategic plan, because that is what is going to be driving us for the next year while the superintendent search and process goes on to find that permanent one moving forward.
The consensus is now to take public comment by as early as next week and allow for email comments.
New York is becoming the first state creating coverage for prenatal care thanks to an expansion of the state's paid family leave policy. Additionally, the governor has introduced legislation allowing New Yorkers to utilize doula services without the referral from a doctor. So News 8 spoke with the acting commissioner of public health here in Monroe County, who says the expansion of PFL to include prenatal care could go a very long way in addressing disparities that exist in maternal health outcomes.
In Monroe County, we have a higher rate of maternal mortality, so that's defined as a woman dying during pregnancy or within the first year of giving birth due to a condition related to that pregnancy. And so the Monroe County mortality rate is higher than other rates across the state and across the nation.
She adds black and brown women specifically are more affected due to social drivers, such as women of color going to prenatal care much later in the time frame than their white counterparts.
We have an update from Lollipop Farm after their investigators were able to save several exotic animals abandoned at another area rescue shelter. Lollipop received a call from a landlord saying there was an eviction and animals left behind. These animals had been abandoned at the Miles Exotic Pet Rescue on East Main Street in the city. Now, when the Lollipop team showed up, they say they discovered 22 different animals there in various health conditions, so they were able to take them back and give them some medical attention.
So there was a range, however, there were more than a couple of the animals that were dehydrated, emaciated, so extremely thin. So it does appear that they weren't getting the quality of care that one would hope for an extended period of time.
Again, Lollipop says that these animals are in their care, but not their custody, which is an important distinction, meaning they'll have to go through the court proceedings, work with the person who owned them, and thus continue the investigation.
The now former head coach of the Sabres, Don Granato, was scheduled to talk to the media Friday, but that won't happen. He doesn't have a job. He and two other coaches were fired this week. GM Kevin Adams says that decision was his to make, adding Buffalo just hasn't been good enough, saying they have the pieces, though, to make a postseason run. Have to wait till next year. Adams wanted Granato to have the chance to turn things around. That's why the move happened after the season was done. He adds the owners, the Pagulas, are engaged as ever when it comes to making Buffalo a success.
I want the next head coach to be someone that has experience and can push this group to the next level and win hockey games, and those conversations will happen starting this afternoon. I'm going to move forward as quickly as possible because I have a very clear direction in my mind of where we're going to go, but previous NHL head coaching experience, pedigree is important.
Adams adds he's got the resources to go after whatever coach he desires. They also cut assistant coach Jason Christie and video coach Matt Smith. The players will talk to the media for the first time since Granato's firing coming up tomorrow. No playoffs for the Sabres, but Amherst, they're at home tonight downtown. They'll make a playoff run. Got that? How about the forecast tonight?
Yeah, what are we doing?
So hopefully we get some breaks in the rain tonight. We've got it moving in now, a couple of downpours here and there, but kind of a wall of water by lunchtime. So right now just some isolated cells, one moving out of Genesee County, eventually working its way toward Chilak, probably getting a little bit of rain here. We climb out of the 40s into the 50s, and then we just stay there pretty much through tonight and tomorrow, and there will be a lot of dry time for your Thursday, then another round on Friday. That's a cold front that moves through that actually brings a little bit of cooler air. You can see that by both Saturday and Sunday. we turn down those numbers into even the 30s, a little bit of sun there as well. So ups and downs and more April showers to contend with.
Might need to turn the heat back on.
Yeah, possibly.
All right, thank you, James, and thank you for watching us here at Sunrise. We'll see you back here in 30 minutes.
Have a great day.
Follow News 8 wherever you are on RochesterFirst.com, Facebook, Twitter, and on our app for news and weather.